Hello, clever readers, and welcome to the secret society of Fox and Wood, where readers are as clever as a fox. Are you ready? Hi spooky friends, my name is Lexi and welcome back to my channel. Today, you guys, is the day. I am so incredibly excited to be filming this right now. I am officially going to be announcing a secret project that I've been working on for the entire year. I can't believe that I get to announce today that I am launching my very own Patreon. I am so incredibly excited and I just could not be more thrilled, I have to tell you. So today I'm going to be launching and talking a little bit about my Patreon and what I'm going to be offering. So if you're interested in participating in a monthly subscription that includes things like exclusive readathons, weekly reading sprints, some digital printables, posts, an exclusive Discord, and a ton of other things, including a couple different book clubs, you can go ahead and stick around and I will tell you all about it. And for those of you who maybe are not quite as interested, I just want to tell you, don't worry. I will always have free content here on my channel. I am so passionate about YouTube and about connecting with you guys. So I just want to put out there a little bit of a disclaimer. I will always have free content here. I will always be super passionate about my YouTube channel and about you guys. You never ever have to financially back me at all. Your friendship and your support, your likes, your comments is more than enough for me. But I've always wanted to create a Patreon. I've always wanted to create kind of a little bit more of a cozy community where I can connect to people on a little bit of a deeper level and I can provide even more content. So this is just my avenue to do that. But if that's not your thing, I will see you in the next video. And for those of you who have been asking me, let's go ahead and get started with telling you all about the Patreon. So just in case you didn't know, a Patreon is essentially a third party where I can create extra bonus content and kind of a place where we can talk a little bit more intimately, I guess. And it's a place for us to connect and it is a paid subscription. When I was coming up with the concept of this particular Patreon, I wanted it to be more than just supporting me. I was thinking really hard about this and I wanted to create a community where everyone could not only connect with me at a deeper level, but they could also make bookish friends. I think I said this in my very first BookTube video that I ever made, but the reason I started BookTube was because I had just quit my job so that I could try to be a writer full-time and so that I could also try to go back to school for my master's full-time. And I was really lonely and I missed having bookish friends who I could talk to about books and about life. And I really found that community on YouTube. But I know it's kind of harder, especially if you are a viewer, to find that community as well. And so I wanted this Patreon to feel like a place where you guys could connect not only to me, but also to each other too. So when coming up with the concept of the theme of this Patreon, I wanted to create something where it felt like we were virtually all hanging out. I came up with so many different concepts, but at the end of the day, the Patreon theme is going to be a secret society. So the Patreon theme is a secret society, and the way I've set up every single tier is sort of like you're the main character of a book. So as we kind of go through all of the tiers, every single tier has a tiny little couple of sentences where it's setting up how you stumbled upon a part of the secret society. Because ultimately, when you join the Patreon, I want you to feel like you are the main character of your own story, because you are. One of the most important parts for this Patreon was trying to create the feel that this is a real tangible place and that this really could be a book that you step into or a world that you step into. I have to thank my two illustrators. I'm going to talk about one of them when I talk about the second tier in a little bit, but the very first illustrator who really helped me take my dreams of this and bring them to life was Shelley. Shelley is such an incredible illustrator. I just want to take a second and spotlight her work. She is so talented, and the way she illustrates things, she literally puts magic into her illustrations. She also has such a kind heart. I really loved connecting with her. I've already told her this, I want to be her friend. She doesn't live too far away from me, So I'm trying to convince her to get some coffee with me because I genuinely not only loved her work, but I loved working with her. If you are in the market for a children's illustrator, please go check her out. She is just so incredible. She really nailed that balance between whimsy and like kind of spooky vibes that I was hopefully going for. I will link down below her shop, her socials, her website, everything. Please go follow her. She's just so incredible and such a kind human. And then my second illustrator we will talk about again a little bit later when we are talking about the different tiers. So let's go ahead and start with the actual Patreon. So when you first enter in the Patreon, you see this very, very lovely illustration by Shelley. And I really had tried to envision what I wanted for the Secret Society. I wanted it to feel cozy, but also a little tiny bit magical and spooky. And so when you are joining the Patreon, I really want you to picture that you were stumbling upon this magical little secret society that is welcoming you in with open arms. So tier number 1 is called the Secret Society. You receive a mysterious invitation on a crisp autumn night and stumble upon a secret society called Fox and Wood. Enter if you dare. I wanted to keep the very first tier really, really affordable, so it's less money than a cup of coffee. It's gonna be $3 every single month, and for that, I've tried to include quite a few different things involved. The very first thing is that you can participate in 2 exclusive book clubs. I know so many of you guys have been asking me to start a book club ever since A Touch of Whimsy, and I've really, really wanted to, and so I wanted to offer 2 different options. You can definitely choose both options. I would love if you would participate in both book clubs, but if you are only interested in one, you can also just participate in one if you would like. The very first book club offered is going to be the Whimsy and Wit book club. And of course, this is a little bit of I guess paying homage to my very first book club, which is called A Touch of Whimsy. I was so proud of that name when I came up with it. I was actually brainstorming with Kaylin and I was telling her all of my ideas, but we couldn't find anything that stuck. And then one day I wrote A Touch of Whimsy and I was like, this is it. And when I told it to Kaylin, she was immediately like, that's it. And so I wanted to create another middle grade book club that felt the way A Touch of Whimsy really made me feel. So this particular book club is going to be reading middle grade books, and it's going to be reading them every other month. In the months that we are not reading a book, we will actually be watching a whimsical movie. So think like Disney movie watch nights. And I wanted to do this because I want this book club to feel really cozy, but I also want it to feel really, really chill. So if you're a person who wants to participate, but you don't have a lot of time, you can always participate and just join us for the Disney movie watch-alongs as well. The whole purpose of this book club though is just to feel cozy and whimsical and really appreciate the whimsy of middle grade. And every single month we will also have a live show, whether it's a movie watch-along or whether it's a book discussion. For the month of October, we're actually going to be having a spooky and cozy whimsical movie night. The second book club is called the Fox and Burrow book club. The Fox and Burrow book club is going to be an adult and YA book club. We're going to be reading cozy and atmospheric reads, and all genres kind of count. There's also going to be voting, so you guys can help me choose the books as the year progresses as well. And I will just tell you, the very first book that we will be reading for this book club is going to be The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I knew this was going to be the very first book as soon as I saw the title. I knew that the vibes of this were going to be exactly what I wanted for the vibes of this book club, but also I just think it's perfect because it's a little secret society on top of the hill. There's a little bit of magic involved, and literally we're reading about a secret society. And this is a book club that we will be reading a book every single month. So if you're looking to join a book club that's really consistent in its discussions every single month, this is probably going to be the book club for you. I will say that the book club is going to extend until mid-November so that you have enough time to read if you would like to participate in the book club. This tier also comes with Discord access, and I wanted to do that because I wanted there to be a place where you guys could discuss the book club throughout the month as well. And then the final thing that is offered in this particular Patreon tier is going to be weekly posts. So every single week I will be posting different things. If you're a person who is just ravenous for more bookish content, this is going to be the tier that you really, really like, because I will be posting lots and lots of different things to kind of help you romanticize highlights the seasons, but also to give you more bookish recommendations. For example, I'll show you one. I just created if you like this Halloween movie, you might want to try reading this spooky book. But there's going to be mood boards and playlists and monthly favorites. And that is everything for tier number 1. So let's go ahead and move on to tier number 2. The next one is going to be Secret Passageways, and this is a $5 a month tier. So tier number 2, Secret Passageways. Late one night as you browse Fox and Wood's haunted library, you notice a peculiar book on the shelf. You pull it gently and find it's a hidden latch for a secret door. The clock strikes midnight. Welcome to Fox and Wood's hidden passageways. So I had so much fun creating the names of these tiers. I don't know if you can tell. I wanted to make every single one feel like the beginning of a chapter. And the concept of this is that the very first tier is your introduction to Fox and Wood. Welcome to the Secret Society. The second tier is going to be unlocking some of its secrets. So this is going to be a tier with even more content. And the very first thing that you are offered are going to be weekly sprints. These I am so excited about. I am so excited about doing reading sprints. I will try to do them at least 3 times a month, but I'm really aiming for every week, but definitely at least 3 times a month. We will get together and we will do something called a reading sprint. I know if you're not necessarily like familiar with BookTube, you might not know what a reading sprint is. It's basically just like a little reading party. We get together, it's a live show. We can talk about like all of the books that we're reading. We'll go ahead and talk for a set amount of time, and then we will read, or we will be productive, or we will write for a certain amount of time. It's really however you want to use like the sprinting times. And I am so excited about this because I love live shows so much. I am also really excited because the very first reading sprints are going to be with Gavin, and it's going to be Saturday, although I don't really know a time yet, but that is going to be the very first reading sprint. So if you want to hang out with me and Gavin, that's going to be this Saturday, and I'm so excited about it. The next thing though, and I think the thing that is going to be the most exciting, is going to be that we are doing seasonal readathons. And I'm so excited for this. Every single seasonal readathon that we do, there's going to be something that you can print out. There's going to be a map or a bingo board or some really fun typography poster, something that pertains to the readathon so that you can really feel like it's a little reading adventure. So again, if you're not as familiar with like the term readathon, basically it's just a set amount of time where we're all reading, trying to complete prompts to fit a specific theme. Do you know what the theme is? Fox and Wood is holding a fall festival, okay? And so I'll go ahead and like put up the map here. We have a house ghost, we call him Boo for short, and he has just been invited to go to like a little costume party at the haunted house at the top of the hill, but he's lost and we have to guide him through the readathon. So we have to guide him through the different like festivities to get him to the haunted house on the hill. I have an entire video where I'm really explaining like all of this stuff, but I'm just so excited about this map. I found Jessica, who is such a gem. Jessica has so much talent, and when I really explained like all of the different things that I wanted and kind of the setup, she brought this to life in a way that like I couldn't even dream. I love it so much, and it was actually her idea to kind of make it feel almost like a game board. I also just want to take a second to really spotlight Jessica and her work. She is so incredibly talented. I found her, I think from a website. I was checking out different map makers, and when I saw her work, I immediately fell in love with it. She has this very whimsical style, and she again was such a dream to work with. She knew exactly how to turn my visions into life and make it even better than I originally had intended. Everything about Jessica is literal magic. I'm going to link all of her socials down below so you can follow her. Please follow her. Please like her beautiful illustrations. And if you're looking for a map maker, if you're looking for someone who does incredible typography, if you're looking for an incredible illustrator, please go ahead and check her out. I genuinely could not recommend her more. I'm just like obsessed with her work. And if you want to know more about like the prompts and what books to read for the prompts and things, again, that's going to be in the second tier. So every single season we're going to be doing this. We're gonna have like winter festivals and fall festivals, and I have some really big ideas specifically for like the spring and summer that you're gonna find out, and I think you're really gonna like as well. And also there's going to be a couple of months possibly where we do like a bingo board or where it's a month long, all of that stuff. So if you are a person who enjoys seasonal readathons, I highly recommend checking out tier number 2. I don't know, I'm just really excited, and I feel like Jessica did such a great job with the map. So all of the information for the readathon is available, and again, it's going to be in tier number 2. And of course, if you're in this tier, you also have access to everything in tier number 1. The next tier is called the Golden Keys, and this is going to be a $10 a month tier. Tier number 3 is called the Golden Keys. You've been invited to join Fox and Wood, have discovered the secret passageways, and now, clever reader, you are given the Golden Keys. Unlock all of its doors and remaining secrets. So in this tier, you kind of get access to all of the other exclusive bonus content. And the main draw to this tier, I think, is going to be that this tier is going to get exclusive video content from me that no one on YouTube is going to see. These are videos that I'm specifically making for all of my Patreon members and members of Fox and Wood, and they're going to be bonus videos. Some will be vlogs, some will be cozy coffee chats. I'm doing like a whole series where we're basically just chatting over different subjects while sipping coffee together. I think there's a video that's either out now or is going out later next week on this particular tier, so you'll get at least 2 videos every single month, but I'm aiming for more. And actually, as part of this, you'll also get personalized book recommendations 3 times a year. So I don't know if you guys remember, but in November, I did a recommend me a book that video, and I'm planning on doing that every single year on my channel in November, so you can look forward to that as well for this upcoming year. But in this particular tier, I'm going to do that video several times a year. So if you want me to recommend you a very specific vibe or a very specific type of book, you'll get to ask me in Patreon, and you'll get to see my video response telling you and recommending you books that you personally will hopefully love. We're also doing something that I am calling monthly midnight soirees. They're not actually going to take place at midnight. It sounded like a cool name, okay? But basically, once a month, everyone in this tier, we're gonna hang out and do something exclusively that no one else gets like access to. And so sometimes it might be like a 24-hour-a-thon, sometimes it might be a 48-hour readathon, sometimes it might be an epic movie watch-along or a tea party or maybe a party with another Patreon. We might occasionally have like a slumber party together and invite Gavin and his Patreons or any of my other friends who are also on Patreon, but it's going to be something exclusive once a month where we get to hang out and it feels like we are having a slumber party basically together. And I'm really excited about this. I think it's gonna be really fun. I'm really excited for doing this with like movie watch-alongs, but I also can't wait to do this with 48-hour readathons as well. I got the idea for the 48-hour readathons from Mel Reads. She does this with her Patreons, and I just feel like it's such an incredible way to connect to people. I also love that Gavin does like crime and wine nights with his Patreons, and so I feel like doing movie watch-alongs with you guys, it's just gonna feel like a fun way to hang out. And of course, this tier also comes with everything in the other 2 tiers as well. And the final one is going to be the Ink and Quill Club, and this is a $25 a month tier. So the very last tier is called the Ink and Quill Club. When darkness sets in, you can always turn to your Fox and Wood friends, ink, quills, and parchment paper for friends near and far. This tier is really just a thank you tier. This is a tier for people who just kind of want to support my content. I have so many lovely, beautiful DMs and messages and comments from you guys where you are constantly saying, hey, I really appreciate what you do on YouTube. Is there any way that I can support you? And it always really warms my heart, and it makes me feel so grateful that so many of you are so kind and so generous. And so I wanted to create a tier just for people who want to throw a little extra support my way. If you're looking just for like exclusive bonus content, you probably want to stick with either 1, 2, or 3 in the tiers. This particular one is just a thank you, I want to support you, I like what you do tier. But I still really wanted to include tangible things for this tier because this tier is the most expensive. So one of the tangible things is is that members of this particular club are going to get a handwritten card from me 4 times a year. And then the final benefit for this particular one is an idea that I actually got from Darling Desi, and it's called executive producer status. So this particular tier, the $25, is directly gonna go back into my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is something that I am so passionate about. I can't believe that I am lucky enough to consider this my full-time job, and I am so passionate about recommending books to you guys and reading books with you guys and creating content. It just makes me feel creative and it fills me with so much joy. But running a YouTube channel is actually really expensive. For example, if you're doing reading sprints with StreamYard, you actually have to pay a certain amount every single month, and it's really expensive. So all of the money that I get from this tier is specifically gonna go back into all of my video content as well as my Patreon. Every single month, I'm going to check who is in this tier, and I will put your names under the description of every single video so that everyone knows that you were the executive producer of that video. Your financial backing really made a lot of videos happen and possible. And of course, this tier also has all of the other tiers benefits as well. And you guys, I think that's it. Those are all of the things that I wanted to mention. I am so excited about the book clubs. I'm so excited about the reading sprints. I'm so excited about the movie watch-alongs. I'm so excited though about the readathon in particular. That readathon, by the way, is going to take place Friday, October 21st through Friday the 28th, I believe. And if you want information on that, there's a whole video on it, and it's all available in tier number 2. And I think, you guys, that's it. Those are all of the tiers. That's everything that I'm offering. And if you want to go and check it out right now, I have the link in my description. You can go and explore everything, and there's already a ton of content up there. I think there's already a graphic up there. There are several videos right now, one explaining the readathon, one explaining the book clubs. And then of course, remember that our very first reading sprints are going to take place this upcoming Saturday. And I'm so excited because that's going to be with Gavin, and I can't wait. If you're interested at all in book clubs, more bookish content, posts, behind the scenes pictures, reading sprints, seasonal readathons, dedicated videos, exclusive video content, handwritten letters, all of that stuff is going to be on my Patreon. And of course, it's going to include a Discord as well. I hope that together we can kind of create a magical little society of readers, and we can have a cozy little corner of the internet. I think that's everything, clever readers. Until next time, my book lover friends, keep your head in the clouds and your heart in a book, and I will see you very soon. Stay spooky.